So before you continue watching this video, it may contain spoilers about the new movie, The Flash. I'm going to review it and talk to you about it today. Hey, Jason here. If you've been watching the channel, you've been seeing me go through Johannesburg, South Africa, showing you how beautiful it is here, man. I literally just left from the marketplace today to go buy some fruits and veggies and just love the brotherly love that I get there and seeing the people. And most importantly, you've been seeing me talk about success, what it is, and how to get it in the three areas of life that I focus on, which are happiness, health, and wealth. And so today, oh, sorry, before I get to that, let me get the intro done correctly. If you're new to the channel, the definition of success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea, and that's by Earl Nightingale. And so let's go ahead and get into today's content. And I wanted to do this video because I want to show you too, like, if you're an aspiring content creator, you're thinking about like, man, what can I talk about? What can I produce content on? That's why I did this video. Literally yesterday, I watched a bootleg version of The Flash. It was a horrible version, by the way. I haven't seen a horrible copy that bad since, man, I think it was like early 2000s when I used to buy bootlegs from the guy next to what's the name of that grocery store? Minyards in Oak Cliff. And so watched the movie, and I'm gonna have to tell you, man, like DC has to stop doing movies. I don't know what it is about the DC universe. They make the best TV shows when it comes to their superheroes, but they make the crappiest movies, man. Like it's always feeling rushed. And I think the thing that I can tell from the Flash movie, you could tell there was multiple people in charge of it in different stages of the production. And for that, like it messes up. You can tell like it was probably going one way. Then when they changed writers or producers, it started going a different way. Then it ended this last way. And it just didn't make any sense. And mind you, I'm a comic book fan. Like I used to like the Flash. He was he was up there in my top 10 favorite heroes. And it was just a boring movie. I'm gonna be real with you. I remember there was times I looked up and I didn't even know what was going on because I wasn't even paying attention. And they even brought in two Batmans that I like. So like I like Batman also. However, I haven't seen the newest Batman movie. I need to watch that and I'll do a review on that also. But I like the Michael Keaton Batman movie. And I did like the George Clooney Batman Forever. Even though it's the cheesiest Batman movie out there, it was still a good concept. And I liked how the villains were. And so that's part of the spoilers there. I'll be telling you that. Like you will see both of those Batmans in the movie. And you saw all of these different variants of Superman and different other people. They finally showed the Nicolas Cage Superman. That thing, it looked horrible, yo. I'm gonna be honest with you. Nicolas Cage should not be doing superhero movies. It just looked unbelievable. It was worse than the Green Lantern CGI, in my opinion. Seeing that Nicolas Cage, I was like, him playing Superman. No, it should just be Henry Cavill, and then once Henry Cavill retires, pick someone else. I'm like, Nicolas Cage just not it, guys. That's like going to Tom Cruise as Iron Man, in my opinion. Which I don't think that'll be. I don't think. I think he can pull it off. I just don't think. As someone who likes the comics and read the comics, I don't see Tom Cruise as that character. But that's neither here nor there. And so it was nice seeing all of those different things, but the movie, there was no congruence with the movie. And I see how they were trying to pick it up somewhat after the Justice League movie, I'm assuming. But it just didn't, it all felt misplaced. And even the ending, I'm like, so are you creating, is this a Flashpoint paradox? Like, where's the storyline going? And even with creating the villain of the movie, they didn't even do a good job with that. It was like, it was just bad, man. I feel like up to this day, the best villain ever created in any comic book storyline was Lex Luger from the Justice League movies, the newest ones. Cause I think he just played a very great Lex Luthor. I'm sorry, not the wrestler Lex Luger. He played a very great Lex Luthor, and Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger. Outside of those, like you don't see the character development of villains, and it's like that's one of the biggest things in comic books that people don't talk about. Like you do have a love-hate relationship with the villains. Sometimes you rooting for them as much as you're rooting for the hero, and that's just missing there. And so like that was missing. The character development wasn't really there. The dialogue was very boring. Like it didn't keep me entertained. And also, like, if you watch the Flash movie, let me know what your opinions are in the comments too, because I would like to know if other people think it like the Flash to me is one of those characters because of his powers. Like, you can go so far and so deep with it, and I feel like they just keep going to the same basic surface level stuff, and it's like it's boring. You know, they focus so much on him, his immaturity and things like that, and it's like, come on, man, like develop the Flash, like make it show the other sides of him. Like he has a superhuman intellect. Like not only does he have super speed, like he heals fast. Like show all the things that he's capable of doing now. He can create tornadoes with his hands, and it was just watching them fight the Kryptonians. It was the worst Flash fight I've ever seen in my life, and I get they're trying to show that all the heroes matter. They all need to come together. But let's just be real, man. The Flash is a very overpowered character. Like the dude controls the Speed Force, and so I was highly disappointed in the movie. It wasn't my cup of tea. Um, yeah, man. DC, y'all just got to do better. I think if DC, I think this is what the problem with DC. I think DC has the problem that the wrestling industry have. People try to get things over, like, I mean, get over like gimmicks. Like you're trying to push a character or a certain gimmick. They're trying to push a character over, and they're not allowing that character to develop. If you look at Marvel, you have to go back to, man, I think what was it, the original Incredible Hulk, the original one with Edward Norton, I believe. No, it goes before that. But like those, they started their character development and placement like for a long time. Like they didn't write the script for 2 or 3 movies off. They wrote a script for years off. And when you're doing that type of character development, you're giving your character grace to maybe not everybody like him in the beginning, but by the end, people fell in love with him. Like look at the Tony Stark, and let's just go to Marvel Avengers. Look at the Tony Stark from the very first, the arrogant asshole playboy, to the man who saved the world by snapping and killed himself. Like he didn't save the world. I'm sorry, he saved the universe. And literally, people were crying from him. But when you first met him, he was like, "Oh man, I don't really like this dude. He's a jerk." Like that's character development. Like that's the one thing the DC universe is missing. They're not in it for the long run. And I keep seeing this over and over again. And every time I give them a shot at making a good DC movie, man, they ruin it. Like even the Batman versus Superman, it was such a rushed film, and it was just like he's about to kill Superman with a kryptonite shard spear or whatever. And then it's because he says Martha. Oh, how do you know her name? And it's like, dude, this was so dumb. And it's like, DC, get it together, man. Like I'm really disappointed in DC Universe. Like whoever writes your TV shows need to start writing your movies, because I'm gonna tell you right now, whoever's doing the movies, they should just be fired. Like it's not your strong point. Um, and I'm not saying it to be rude. Like I'm not saying it to belittle what the work they're doing. However, we need to start realizing like you can't keep making failed storylines over and over and over and over again. What was the last successful really DC movie? What was it? Was it Christopher Nolan's Batman, the Dark Knight series? And I mean that was good, but like let's be real, man. You've had Superman movies over and over again, which I felt they missed home with the Superman movie. Henry Cavill, who does a great job as Superman, and I really loved how, if you saw the Man of Steel one where he killed General Zod, like the way he did it, and like it showed him releasing his anger, like he had to tap into the things that he don't want to be to actually become strong enough to win, and like that showed like a character flaw, but it showed a character development too. Like it's those little things that matter. Like you have to analyze from the movies that fans fell in love with the enemy. So like let's just use Killmonger. He's the best example. You fell in love with his journey, you fell in love with his struggle, and you understood his passion and his reason for revenge. Like there was a level of resonance that everyone had with him as a character. Like, yo, man, I remember seeing people getting messed up. I remember my family not having opportunities. Like, why am I sitting here struggling when things should be easier? Like, you resonate with that. And that's just something you don't get from DC characters. I have not resonated with not one DC character since they've been putting out movies. I still say the the last movie they did decent was the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight series. But I don't think DC has had a good movie. I don't think they had a good movie since Batman Returns with Michael Knight, Michael Keaton. I'm sorry, Michael Keaton. I don't think they had a good movie since then. Let me know what do you feel like was the last really good movie of DC, because I can't really think of anything. Like, I can tell you this for sure: I've never watched any DC movie more than once, and that's how much it bored me. Like, I can watch Marvel movies over and over again, but DC, like, y'all slacking, man. And I mean this out of love and respect, because I really love like the Flash, and I would love to see a John Stewart Green Lantern movie and stuff like that. However, like, I want to see it done right, man. Like, I want to see it done justice. As a person who used to read the comics as a kid, my imagination going off, to escape what was going on around me. And now that I get to see these things on the big screen or the bootleg screen, whichever one I use, like, it's kind of heartbreaking, and when it's just not meeting any part of the comic books. And it's like, literally, some of these storylines, you can just take it straight from the comics and just do a one off, and you'll have a real great freaking movie, man. Like, come on, DC, let's get it together, man. Like, I want to be out here and spending money, investing money into more DC movies, but I'm not into trash, man. And I'm just sorry that Flash movie, it was too rushed. It was too many hands involved with either the direction or the writing. It was too much. It was just too much condensed into a 2 hour film, and it told nothing, and it went nowhere. That's the funny part. Like, the ending, when it happened, I was lost. I had to rewind it a little bit just to see. I'm like, where is he? Why is this happening? Like, so this is how he beat him? It was just dumb overall. So my ranking of the Flash movie out of 10, I give it a 4. I give it a 4 out of 10, and that's being nice. The only reason I'm not even going lower is because I was watching a bootleg version, so I have to knock points off of myself for that. But it wasn't good, man. And so if you like this type of content, let me know also if you like the Flash movie, or if you didn't like it like I didn't. Leave your comments down below. But make sure you like this video. And if you're looking to be a content creator, look at the type of stuff that I'm showing you that you can create content around. Literally just me watching a movie yesterday, and I'm turning it into content now to where it can start becoming profitable for me later on down the road. And you can do the same too. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. That way you can see videos just like this that get dropped each and every day. And most importantly, just remember this: I'm Jason, and success is simple once you know how.